What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN USD. It is the 20th day of December, and here we are sitting at about $0.00475. We've got about 1 day. It says 8 hours left in this week, but right down here we've got 3 minutes left in this hour. It's more like 1 day and 7 hours left in this week. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Let's get into it, okay? What we're doing is, I think, fantastic. I mean, we're having a very good reaction now. I don't want to get too excited off of this. Right, we've seen wicks to the downside that marked the lows, wicks to the downside that marked the lows. We've seen wicks to the downside that brought lower lows, that brought lower lows here, that brought lower lows here. Right, we've seen that happen. So don't get too excited. But what I will say, it's nice that this week, at such a significant area too, and we'll go over why it's significant in a second, at such a significant area, we're having a more pronounced wick than a body. It's about 50-50 right now, but the body is smaller than the wick, so maybe it's like 60-40, whatever, or 70-30, but a bigger wick to the downside is nice, especially when paired with the fact that we have interacted with this prior resistance point for support. We've interacted with this area that we consolidated at for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. On the 5th week we broke out, so we consolidated here for about a month. Interacting with that area for support. We're just above this prior area of resistance there. If we pull out our fibs, we look at this from a low to a high here. We've gone just below our 1414, and it's actually very common when finding support at the 1414, it's very common to wick below it and then close above it. So the fact that we wicked below it to that degree and are now closing above it actually does open up the chances that this is the low. And we're going to look at some other stuff. That in itself is not enough, but that's a good look. Finding support at prior macro highs, that's a good look, guys. If we go lower, the golden ratio is there to find support right there at 0.034. And speaking of the golden ratio, amidst everything else that we've talked about, from a low to a high here, this golden ratio zone, we've penetrated it, we've gone into it, and we found a wick coming back out of it. Really strong stuff here, guys. Really strong stuff. Not to mention that the XCN USD MACD has bullish divergence on it, right? We formed bullish divergence on the weekly time frame. We do have bullish divergence on the stochastics as well on the weekly time frame. The RSI does not have bullish divergence, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? We are on the RSI at some of the lowest levels that we've seen in our whole lives, let alone over the past few years, right? Since 2023, we have not been this low. And you've got dramatically lower lows here than these lows, right? Lower lows there, and you have higher lows overall. We're finding support here. It looks great. Volume is gone. Volume has left the building. They've left the chat, you guys. The volume is gone. And typically, whenever your volume's gone, that's whenever you start to break out. That's whenever you make moves to the upside. If we're looking at this on a XCN BTC chart, the XCN BTC chart, which I'm sure everybody and their mother at this point, if you're watching this video, you're all pretty aware of this. But again, let's just go over the rendition in case people forget. Weekly time frame, you have bullish divergence on this MACD as well. And it's actually beautiful. It's quite beautiful, the bullish divergence that we have here. It's perfect. Unfortunately, we pulled up so much this week, pulled back so much that we don't have another drive here, but that's okay. We don't need it. We're about to cross green. You can see how close these oscillators are. We're about to cross green at any moment. Bullish divergence that's been building since June for half a year. That's going to be fierce. It's going to have some fierce reactions there. At this point, because we pulled back so much, we do have bullish divergence on the RSI, again, at the lows. We do have bullish divergence on our stochastics here. You guys remember yesterday? Do you guys remember yesterday? I remember yesterday. I remember yesterday we were down here, and our bullish divergence on the weekly time frame went away for the RSI and the stochastics. Now, because of the bounce that we're experiencing today, it's back. We have bullish divergence on all 3 indicators on the XCN BTC chart on the weekly time frame. We also have bullish divergence on the stochastics on the daily time frame, on the RSI on the daily time frame, even on the MACD on the daily time frame. What the hell? You guys, we've got bullish divergence against Bitcoin on every indicator here, all 3 indicators, the RSI, the stochastics, and the MACD, on both the daily and the weekly time frame. Let alone finding support on the US dollar where we're finding support. I can't help but, I don't want to say it, but you guys know what I want to say. It rhymes with the low is in. Something like that, man. That really could be the low right there. It's spectacular. Where are we in the grand essence of this low to this high here? Just above that golden ratio. That might be a fair fib to take, and maybe we do inevitably go down here. Maybe we do. Prior resistance there, prior resistance there, prior resistance here. It kind of makes sense. It's the golden ratio, and it lines up with this golden ratio too pretty well, right? The golden extension right there. So it does line up pretty well. But this is the more relative low to this move I feel like that's good enough. That looks good to me. And we are definitely respecting this fib. You can see it here. You absolutely are respecting this fib. So bouncing right off the 0.5, rejecting the 236, rejecting the 382 right there. Right, we're finding support at the golden ratio here. It seems as though we're respecting it. So that's good enough in my opinion. Let alone with everything else that we've got going on, man. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen here. So let's see. 1 day, 7 hours left. That's the reason why I talk about this stuff like basically every day. We've been talking about it basically every day for the past few weeks, is because it is something truly to get excited about, right? This setup, again, you guys, this is something that's been developing now on the weekly time frame for 6 months. Like this is not a small thing. It's not going to have a small reaction. Where we are at key macro levels for support. If we don't find it here, oh, buddy, we're going to have a different discussion, right? And I'm not talking about here. It doesn't have to be exactly this low, right? We can go a little bit lower still, but if that low area of like 0034, 0036 doesn't hold up, then we've got a real problem. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if OnyxCoin here saw some voluptuous upside in a very short amount of time. We look at this from a high to a low where we are now, just getting to the 382, which is a pretty standard retracement for most charts. Just from there, from where we are now, that takes us above 1 cent. That put us at about 126% growth. We look at the XCN BTC chart on a weekly time frame. Same kind of idea, right? The 382 is kind of a standard minimum target. Imagine you think that we're still going to go lower. That's fine. Maybe we do. Maybe we still have lower to go. I don't think that we do, right? It's not fine. I shouldn't say it's fine. Just in the context of this next move, it's fine. It doesn't interrupt or disrupt the idea that we could have a pump here. But hopefully we don't do something like this. That would not be fine. Let me correct that. But even if we go lower, which we won't, I don't think that we will, but even if we were to go lower, we would at least hit the 382, back test prior areas of support, reject there, and then come down. And that movement in itself versus Bitcoin, because that's also back where our divergence started, was all the way back here in June. So it actually makes sense to go right to where our divergence started, if not even a little bit above there. That in itself is a 125% gain. Typically, if a coin grows 125% versus Bitcoin, you see more growth in the dollar. Because if a coin grows 125% versus Bitcoin, Bitcoin's likely growing as well, which means that your US dollar price will probably grow more. So we likely won't stop at 1 cent. We'll likely break through there. And then the only significant area that's just above this 382 that I can imagine is this area of resistance and support here, which could promote an overall like 170% pump from the current price of OnyxCoin. And make no mistake, guys, I wouldn't be surprised at all if this move here happened just like this one did. If it's like 1 week, we're just up there. It could be next week, could be the week after. It might be sometime in January at this point. But we're so close. We're so close, man. Very bullish setup. What I love, it's unfortunate how much OnyxCoin has pulled back. It really is unfortunate, right? But what I love is that OnyxCoin is my second biggest crypto. It's my second biggest bag at this point in time. And between OnyxCoin and Bitcoin Cash, those are my two biggest bags. Both of them look ready. Very ready for a breakout. I think Bitcoin Cash's is going to be more historic, more significant. But this is going to be pretty damn significant too, man. We're going to see some rapid growth here. It's going to be spectacular. Let's see. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, zooming way the hell in now. It's important to go over this long-term stuff, right? It might seem tedious, but we go over it because we need to get our minds straight, right? You look at the short-term stuff, you can get discouraged. You should not be discouraged right now. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand. We went from a high in April of like 2.9 cents or 2.8 cents, whatever it was, 2.4 cents. And now we're all the way down here below half a cent. I get it, man. It's discouraging. But if we let that from April to here and we just look at where we've come from a high to a low, if we let that be the end-all be-all, we miss all the technical indicators that are saying, hey, something big is brewing right now. Something very big is brewing. And it just makes sense. It makes all the sense in the world because OnyxCoin has some serious developments coming out in Q1. Well, here we are, right at the ass end of Q4. Q1 is right around the corner. We're going to get some pumps just on the insider information alone, let alone on the good news that comes out with that, the attention-grabbing stuff that comes out with that, let alone the attention that the pump will grab itself. 1 hour time frame, the RSI looks spectacular. Getting overbought, bouncing off the 50, that looks good. That looks nice. I'm all right with that. Building volume as we're moving up. I don't have a problem with that. Stochastics look bullish. Looks good. You pumped up here. RSI reset, stochastics reset, you're ready to go. MACD reset, you're ready to go. It looks like you want to move higher. It looks good. I like it. Like right now, it looks like we want to move higher. When I say right now, that doesn't mean we're seeing 100% today, Well, we're probably going to keep moving up from here. We're not going to move back down. The 4-hour RSI is bouncing off the 50. That's a good look in itself. The stochastics are bouncing off the 50, and you're coming up. That's a great look. And the MACD is building bullish momentum instead of decaying in bullish momentum, where we were decaying in bearish momentum, and now we're building bullish momentum. We had bullish divergence here, you guys. And now we're carrying out this bullish momentum. I think we're going to move up higher. 4-hour time frame looks good. I don't think that this ends here, is all I'm trying to say. Daily time frame, though technically I guess we are finding resistance at prior support. Again, be open-minded. You know, if I'm getting excited a little bit ahead of schedule, right? What else is new? If I'm getting a little bit excited here, calling for this to be the low ahead of schedule, and we come back down to like 0038, 0034, whatever it is, that's fine. We're still going to come back up, right? All this divergence doesn't go away with that move. In fact, because today's Saturday, tomorrow's Sunday, if we close up around here, we will protect that those weekly indicators. We'll protect those weekly indicators. We'll maintain the bullish divergence on all these weekly indicators. Next week is a new week. We could next week go down and then come back up by the end of the week and still save those indicators, right? Still maintain those bullish divergences. I hope that we do, because it's a very powerful setup. Even if we got rid of the RSI bullish divergence, the stochastics bullish divergence, the MACD alone is a very bullish setup. But with everything together, oh, buddy, I'm excited. That's all I got to say. Daily time frame here, RSI bouncing off the oversold zone. It's not good that we broke out of our uptrend, but I mean, we still kind of have it, right? Like it's still kind of like an uptrend here. Maybe it's more parallel now. Whenever we thought, or whenever I thought that this was the uptrend here, you know, from these high points, it's not as parallel, right? Where from this point here, it's a little bit more parallel. I don't know. It kind of looks better. It's not clean, but nonetheless, we are bouncing right off the oversold zone, and that's nice. That's actually a really proper reaction there. Lower lows in the RSI, lower lows in the price, but we're bouncing off the oversold zone. Stochastics look terrible. I don't even want to talk about it. But hey, we're about to come out of the oversold zone, so maybe that promotes more growth over the coming days. The MACD, if today closes green, if tomorrow can close green, if we can continue to push higher from here, the MACD will cross back to the green effect, and you guys, we'd effectively solidify that this is a false cross. On the daily time frame, that's great. That's great. Next week should be, if we can provide that this is a false cross right now, we are going to have a bullish finish to this month, to this year, and that's going to be spectacular. I'm actually kind of curious, because I said to this month, to this year, I'm kind of curious where we are on our like year. Where are we here? Let's see. 12 months. We're green. We're green on the year. We're up 100%. We're up 100%. That's better than Bitcoin by, well, about 100%, isn't it? Let's see. Let's see here. 12 months. Yeah, by about 105% there. That's not bad at all. 101%, 105, so 106%. But we did pull back a lot. We have had a lot of pulling back. So I think we've got a lot of giving back to go. I mean, looking at this chart just for what it is, if I didn't know what this chart was, I had nothing to do with crypto, but I had all my technical and analytical experience. I've been doing this for over 10 years. I have that same experience. I don't know what this chart is. I don't know what it does. I don't know the purpose of this coin or this asset or whatever it is, but I'm just looking at this chart. I would be like, dude, thank you for telling me about this coin. It looks like it's at the perfect area to bounce. If I never heard of this project at all, if I never knew anything about it and somebody just showed me this chart, I would say, thank you. I know where I'm putting my money right now. This thing literally looks like it wants to have a V-shaped recovery. And if it has a V-shaped recovery, there's a strong chance that we just push all the way up above 2 cents, guys. That we do a non-stop path recovery, if not to 2 cents. I mean, literally above 2 cents, if this is a V-shaped recovery. And if we are setting up for a V-shaped recovery, which I think we've got all the tools, all the indicators there suggesting that it could happen. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a little bit slower, whatever. Maybe it takes time. I doubt it. If this is a V-shaped recovery, the V out here will be faster than the V in. We will move at a faster pace. In other words, it took from July to now to get here. It's July 14th. It's December 20th, so it's been about like appropriate to that month on the day. August, September, October, November, December. 5 months. It's been 5 months. I theorize that it will take less than 3 months to move back up here, above 2 cents. I theorize it will take less. Before Q1 is over, OnyxCoin should be back above 2 cents, if not even higher than that. I've got nothing else, guys. Thank you all for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all. This is going to be one of the biggest fumbles, I think, for a lot of people. It's going to be one of the biggest, because there were a lot of people that sold here, you guys. A lot of people capitulated once we broke these lows. Right? Something's wrong with OnyxCoin. No, bro. Something's wrong with the crypto space. The whole damn space was dropping. It's not just OnyxCoin. Whenever everything was going right, it outperformed. What happens when everything stops being bad? It's just you wait. We've got everything loading in Q1, guys. It's going to be spectacular. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.